Hello, Internet. Do I say hello, Internet? Not really. Hello, this is the Compass Cast episode 3. Yeah, hello, Internet. That's definitely someone's catchphrase. I don't know who. I apologize. Do not sue me. That is game theory. Anyways, I am joined today by some guests. I'm JeffCompass. Please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Carno. I'm the goofball who's somehow still here. That's a good way to describe me.
Is that all?
Yeah.
I'm Rudhira. I'm a guest. Not a goofball, I don't think. I play The Sims 2 a lot. That's really my online presence as of late. I guess that's not much more interesting than being a goofball.
Fair. So basically with this podcast, the guests I've been getting on are from when I used to play Mario Sunshine. I used to speedrun, do bingo. So last time we had Mojungo, this time we have Rudhira. She organizes bingo a lot. And yeah. So Ninja is not with us today because he might join. I don't know. He was ready to go.
The Shadow Realm.
I just hate Ninja, you know?
Yeah.
We actually ganged up on him in a conspiracy. Yeah.
We actually got a restraining order against him, so but he had to do stuff, he was ready to go, he was all set, and then he had to do stuff. So if he joins. It'll make editing the audio later kind of miserable, but you know what? That's life. Anyways, the three things we do in the show, if you want to call it a show, I don't know. We talk about what we've been playing, what we've been working on, and then we'll talk about the meat and potatoes, the Mario movie discussion, which I know is late, but whatever. So first section, what have you guys been playing? We'll start. We'll just.
I feel like we know how this section will go.
Yeah, we know how it's gonna go. We'll go in just order the call. So in my order, that's me, then Cardno, then Rudhira. So we'll just go there. So I obviously, okay. So I haven't just been playing Tears of the Kingdom. I have been playing a little Xenoblade 3 DLC. That's what I was playing in May, a lot. I really tried to make an effort to beat it before Tears of the Kingdom came out. I did not succeed, and so obviously now I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom, and I don't know when I'm going back to Xenoblade because I didn't beat the DLC story. Obviously, I'm not going to discuss that too much here for spoilers and whatever. I know, not everyone plays that game anyway. So it was good. I've been enjoying it, but yeah, I did not finish it in time. So who knows when I'll get back to it eventually. So Cardno, I think I know the answer to this, but what have you been playing?
I've been playing a very healthy amount of Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
I at first I was a little, worried about the 70-hour playtime that was occurring on my Switch, and then I saw some Twitter playtimes, and I'm feeling a little better about that now,
Yeah.
But it's a very good game. Can't really praise it enough. It's probably one of the best games I've played in several years. So
fair. Yeah, I've been seeing that someone had 135 hours in 10 days. That is I really genuinely I don't know how you would do that personally. I have 45, which is still a lot in my opinion for 10 days. It's still a decent amount, but I've been working on videos and working on other stuff IRL, trying to work on getting hired. So the fact that I've even put 45 hours in, honestly, to me is an accomplishment. But Rudhira,
10 days.
It has been out for
2 weeks and change.
Oh.
Yeah.
2 weeks almost exactly, actually. I think.
Oh. Okay.
2 weeks tomorrow. So actually, I guess 45 hours in 2 weeks is a little better than.
It's Friday and we're recording it, so it's actually exactly 2 weeks today.
Oh yeah, well there you go. All right, Rudhira, what have you been playing? I don't know if you've been playing Tears of the Kingdom actually.
Yeah,
but...
well, based on me asking how long it's been out for, no, I actually
someone's not conforming.
Until earlier this year, I had never played a Zelda game in my entire life. Then I did play some Breath of the Wild a couple months ago. Or was it? I think that was actually No, I think it was earlier this year. Like, I played some Breath of the Wild, 4 hours, by the way, based on playtime. Didn't beat the game in that time, obviously. So, like, yeah, no Tears of the Kingdom for me. I just haven't really been able to get into Zelda games.
That's fair.
I
Any
have
other-
been playing.
I was just gonna say, any other games you've been playing, or?
I've been playing a lot of Sims 2 recently, which, like, maybe doesn't sound too surprising. I feel like, though, recently, I have been playing the game a lot more than I usually do, because a lot of my Sims 2 time I spend just, like, creating content for the game. So, like, actually playing The Sims 2, this'll make sense to the Sims 2 people. But, like, normally when you say you're playing The Sims 2, you're not actually playing the game. You're, like, creating stuff, or you're downloading stuff, or you're, like, organizing your mods folder, or whatever. Like, but playing the game? Unheard of. Not too concerned with spoilers for that either, because, like, hey, The Sims 2 came out in 2004. Not that there's anything.
Are there spoilers?
No. It's
Fair.
like, oh, this secret thing can
I'm
happen.
gonna spoil Roller Coaster Tycoon, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I have been enjoying, what's that game? City Skylines. I've enjoyed a lot recently too. It's like such an easy game to just get sucked into. And I feel like they've just done something with it that works so well. I can't really explain it, but I didn't think I would like it. Like, I first got the game in some sort of, like, Steam sale, like, ages ago, because that's what I do. Like, a game is on sale, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy this. And then I don't play it. Like, I have so many unplayed games in my Steam library, it's not even funny. But I did start playing City Skylines, like, a couple months ago, and, like, I play that every now and then still, and it's just so much fun.
Cardno, have you played that? I like vaguely remember you telling me you played that before, but I could just be making that up.
No, I have not played City Skylines.
Okay.
From what I understand, it's just like a city management simulator, though, right? So I know a little bit about it. I think.
Like, you create a city and then you manage it. Are there any games all three of us have in common?
Mario, have you played Mario Kart?
Galaxy? Mario Kart?
I can't play Mario Galaxy. It gives me, like, vertigo.
Okay,
Oh, no.
I remember playing something once, and your name on Switch Online came up with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I know for a fact Cardinal likes that game as well, so that might be a game we all played.
Yeah. I love Double Dash the most because that's like what I grew up with. But yeah, I have enjoyed Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as well too. I've been playing it more recently because of the is this spoiler? You know, the new DLC.
I don't think so at this point.
Wait. No, I'm just so scared of spoilers now. I heard Tears of the Kingdom earlier, and I'm like, am I allowed to speak about anything that happens in the
It's all fine.
But yeah, have you guys played the new, like, DLC tracks of the?
I have. I've been keeping up with those, and
yeah,
they've been steadily getting better. So
I really liked Wave 4.
Wave 4 is good.
Fruit Cup, the one with like
Circuit.
Yoshi, the one that had Yoshi's Island, the Yoshi's Island track.
Oh,
I think.
yeah.
And then my favorite track I think my favorite track was Wave 3, the Merry Mountain. Is that
was good.
What it's called? I like Merry Mountain.
That track was pretty cool. It's a little bit simple for my liking, but you know, it's not a bad course by any means. So.
But there's a
loved it.
shortcut. I don't know if it's a shortcut.
I really liked the direction of where the booster pass is going. Wave 1 was.
Oh, that's what it's called.
Wave 1 was not good in my opinion. I thought it was maybe it's not like, unplayable filth, but it's just kind of like not to the quality of base 8. But now we're at, I'd say Nintendo's on form now. Like I feel like we're getting to tracks that are kind of, you know, they look like they could have been in the original game, which to me is all I really have been asking for. Not just like look, but feel. I think this is a good segue into our second section, though, because I don't think a lot of people watch this, so I'll drop a little spoiler. Our second question is, what have you been working on creatively? And I have been working on a Mario Kart 8 retrospective, which I know the waves are not done. I justify why I did it when I did it in the video, but I've been working on a full-on video about that. It's about an hour long, talking about like the Wii U version, the Switch version, and Booster Pass, all that stuff, and all the updates. So I think it's an apt time to say what I've been working on. I am decently into the editing for the audio, and yeah, I hope it comes out in like 2 weeks, maybe. It's a long one. It's a longer one, so those videos always take me a bit of time. But that's what I've been working on. I'll let you guys take the floor. You don't have to spoil if you don't want to spoil stuff you're working on. By the way, it's always an option to just plead the fifth.
Well, I was working on a Zelda Breath of the Wild video, and then Nintendo ruined it. It was a personal attack, actually. You know, because they
ruined something.
Because they released Tears of the Kingdom, and now
Jerks.
everything I have to say about Breath of the Wild is irrelevant,
Right.
and so I get to rewrite my entire review. So that's really fun. You know, so I'm not seriously mad. It's a good problem to have, but that was just very funny.
It was funny. I mean, to be fair, I think there is a niche out there for like talking about Breath of the Wild right now, because everyone's focused on Tears of the Kingdom, but I think a video like centered around Breath of the Wild, I think that's kind of interesting right now. So, you know, might do well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what does well and what doesn't anymore.
It'd
But
probably be an approach of like Breath of the Wild versus Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Each game did better, because I do think Breath of the Wild did one or two things slightly better than Tears of the Kingdom, though that obviously just comes down to personal opinions. So.
I think it did atmosphere a little better. I do think the atmosphere type of, you know, environment thing, but I don't think you could really recreate that same magic twice. It's kind of my argument with Tears of the Kingdom not being as strong with atmosphere. Other than that, I pretty much prefer it in every way. But yeah, Rudhira, I don't know if you have like any like projects. Because Mojungo last time was like, we got to the section, he was like, because like, you know, sometimes we have YouTubers, sometimes, I don't know if you have anything you want to share. Feel free.
Well, like, I pretty much always have like some ongoing projects like for The Sims 2. But that's kind of just like, okay, here's me, I'm like editing some 3D models, or I'm working on some textures or whatever, which I don't know, that's just also kind of what I do. I have enjoyed that a lot recently. I've been I've been going back to like older things I've made that were like they were fine, but I made them like 2 or 3 years ago, and I've just gotten better at these things since then. So it's nice to just like revisit old projects, make sure they're like up to what my standards are today. And because like today I wouldn't have released those things. It's not like I think, oh, these are horribly bad and need to be taken down, but like just updating old things to like be better.
I wish I could do that with my videos.
Yeah,
like it's really easy for me because I can just like people update files all the time. Like sometimes it's like, oh, this file was broken, please re-download, or whatever. Like it's very common to update your files.
Right.
It's actually kind of frowned upon to like take your files down because like especially for The Sims 2, there's a lot of content that just has gone missing because like sites have gone down or file hosting services have gone down, and like there's stuff you can't get anymore. So I like just having my files up no matter what, because hey, like maybe I think it's bad, but maybe someone else is gonna be like, oh, this is just what I've been looking for, I'll download it. And then if I have a chance to fix it later, then that's great.
Yeah. Good mentality.
But, yeah. Something else I want to do is like re-record my like Sims 2 tutorial videos. Not like tutorials for playing the game, but I used to have a bunch of tutorials for how to like make content. Not really the textures or models or anything, but there's a program that we use a lot for like when creating content, which is called SimPE, Simple Package Editor, which is what like what you use to like add everything into the game. It's the files that are actually getting read by the game, and it's not the easiest program to work with if you've like never seen it before.
I would have no idea what to do.
Yeah, no, there are a lot of written tutorials out there, but for some people, just video tutorials work better. And yeah, I used to have some tutorials up, but they were all like, the first one was so bad. I had the worst microphone on the planet. I was using a computer that like sounded like it was gonna launch into outer space.
I've been there.
I was recording everything just in one take with some recording software that came with the computer, because I didn't like really have any video editor, not even like just cropping and putting together different clips. So it was just like me recording on that horrible computer all in one go, bad quality, all of that. And then like it did get a bit better when I got a new computer and a new microphone, but again, like it'd be nice to just have that, like those tutorials, but better.
I will say this about the mic thing. With mics, like, okay, because you commentated bingo a lot, that like with the bingo community in SMS, there are people who had bad mics who have gotten much better mics, and it's like night and day. Like to this day, whenever you talk, I'm like, oh my god, like it's a good mic now. Like, because in my mind, I still think about like the old days. There's a few people like that. I don't want to like roast. I'm not trying to roast anyone, but to me, like whenever I did a VC with Rudhira nowadays, I'm like, oh my god, wait, she has a good mic now. I don't know if that's mean, but no, I'm not one to talk either though.
I had a terrible microphone, and now I have a good microphone.
Yes, you're better than me. Hey, you're probably better than... Well, my mic's not bad. It's just whenever I record for podcasts, I'm in, like, dungeons or whatever. So, I'm working on it. But, yeah.
I think recording good for me would be easier if I didn't have a cat, because sometimes she will just, like, run around crazily, like, meowing and whatever. But, hey, maybe that's, like... that it adds character, I think.
Yes.
My cat won't interrupt me, but she would occasionally just steal my chair, so, you know.
And then you can't move them. Like, if you see a cat sitting in your chair, like, you have to just let them sit.
Well, we had a cat tree right next to where I recorded, so I had no problem moving it.
That's fair.
You know?
No.
I never even see my cat. Like, I only see my cat at my dad's place, but he is always hiding. I, like, if I see him, it is, like, extremely rare, so... can't always relate, but yeah.
No, I was just thinking about that bad microphone quality, because I too, I think we have all suffered from bad microphone syndrome.
Yes.
You know, for several years, in fact, in my case, because it's not even just about like a good microphone; it's learning how to use a microphone too. And
yeah.
Oh, I'm clueless on that part.
So it's very funny if I remember Ninja Star Compass and I were watching several old videos. I think you were there too, Jeff, but like we were joking at some point that it was it sounded like I was about to burst into tears like a couple years ago. Just because it was like me trying to be like quiet, you know, recording with my mic.
My problem with mics is that this is a problem I have with my new video that I'm working on. And thankfully I had a backup solution, but I will set everything up the same as I did for like a previous video when I was like, oh, the audio is really good in this video. I will set everything up. I don't know if it's like the quality of air in the sky or just the stars lined up weirdly, but it'll just like, I'll record it, I get to the editing room, I'm like, this doesn't sound as good as it did last session, and I don't know what it is. I never know what it is. Now, thankfully, for this video, I had a backup. I usually, what I do nowadays is I'll have my mic going, but I'll also turn on my iPhone microphone, which is pretty decent still, when I used it for some videos last year, just as a backup. So some of the audio sounded kind of scuffed, and I've just been kind of using both because they sound kind of similar throughout my new video. I think that's the thing about recording that pisses me off, though. It's like, I don't know what, even if it's not even bad, it just sounds different sometimes, you know? Or like it's a different session, you set everything up differently, and it doesn't sound the same. I don't know if
it's probably the air quality.
Yeah, it's something like
Sounds
that.
Right.
No, I've always just what I discovered was the closer to the microphone you are, the better. So you just get one of those pop filters and just get as close as possible without making.
If I do that, you can hear like every sound that like from my mouth. It'll be like I'm like chewing into your ear or something.
that is something, like there are some people who commentated and that I just like, I'll hear like mouth noises, like slurping and stuff, and I'm just like, I cannot, it's not even to be rude, I just like, some people cannot hear that stuff without like getting anxious almost. I don't even know how to describe it. So I'm just like, it's like a shot to the heart, but it's fine. Because no one's doing it intentionally.
Overall, I have like a tolerance to bad microphones, and I don't know if like when I was like 12 or whatever, we'd always be like, me and my friends, we'd always be like in Skype calls playing Minecraft or something, or League of Legends, and like I have heard so many like 12-year-old boys just screaming their lungs off into the shittiest microphones this planet has to offer. So like ever since then, it's like, if someone has a bad microphone, I kind of just filter that out.
I don't mind bad microphones, but I like chewing and like, slurping noises specifically in bad microphones. It's just like, I don't know. That's what gets to me, I think, more than anything.
But chewing and slurping in a good microphone? Just upload it to YouTube and call it ASMR.
That's ASMR.
Yeah. Get like 1 million views. So I guess we can move on to the main topic. Now that we got, the more important topic out of the way. Kipo. You know what? So main topic today, even though this movie came out 2 months ago, we're going to talk about the Mario movie. I know everyone has seen it by now. It's been
Spoilers?
a while. This is a spoiler. This is a spoiler discussion. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're not having a spoiler-free discussion.
Hi, Ninja.
Later.
Just in time for the Mario movie.
Don't get the raid. It didn't work.
I feel like if people haven't seen the movie yet, they can just kind of
like, if you have not seen the movie yet, get off your butt and go see the movie. In my opinion.
Your own fault.
And then come back.
Like it's digital now, so you don't even have to go to a theater if you don't want to go to a theater. It's still a little bit. It's like $20 digitally, which is kind of a lot, honestly. But it's a new movie, so I don't blame anyone.
I know it's gonna be probably on like Paramount Plus or something at some point. So I guess for those of you who have Paramount Plus, then
you poor souls.
I heard it's coming to Netflix next, actually.
Really? Well, I heard it might come to Netflix at some point.
Let me look it up.
Gross Netflix. But,
Mario Bros. Movie streaming. I don't care how unprofessional this is. I'm looking it up right now.
No, let's add some. I can also type on my keyboard for some.
Yeah, we need some flavor. We need some flavor background noise.
Don't think there's actually.
Let me commence typing very loudly.
But yeah, no, I like that you DM'd me like a month ago or something. Like, oh, are you gonna see the Mario movie, or like, have you seen it? I'm like, yeah. What is this about? Like, okay, Jeff, are you that interested in my movie watching habits?
Fair. Yeah, I just wanted to because for the second episode we got Mojungo on, I was like, All right, who's likely to have like watched the Nintendo Direct out of like everyone who wanted to guess? And I was like, I guess Mojunga. Like I always had to like. That's the thing about guests is you have to figure out who's gonna actually, be interested in the subject. And it is I was just like, I know I wanted Rudhira to be in an episode, so I was like, hey, you're gonna see the Mario. And now it's 2 months later, so my bad.
Yeah.
By the way, Ninja, do you want to introduce yourself and stuff? No. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. I don't want to introduce him either. No.
All right.
I've been on every ever Compass cast. I think
You've been on like all of my videos in some way. Like I'm always like, oh, Ninja, help me with this clip. Like in the last video, I referenced Ninja Star, and I just called him Ninja Star. Like I don't even call him Ninja Star Compass anymore.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, yeah, you guys know who he is. Like
Yeah.
it's been in 2 videos or whatever, or one. You might have just been in 1, but you know what I mean. You're like help with everything. So, anyways, all right. What do we genuinely think about the movie? Like, what do you? If you had to like give some general thoughts, we'll go in a circle of like card note. We'll go in the list of. I guess it's just alphabetical how Discord displays it, so we'll just go there. But I'll sit this one out because I want to hear your guys' thoughts.
We can pass
first,
the
actually.
talking pillow around.
Yeah. So we'll start with Cardno. Excuse me.
All right, so I personally am really glad I saw it in theaters. It was a really cool experience just seeing like all the families come to see it. Like there were like several dads like dressed as Mario or whatever, and it was really cute to see. But yeah, it was a lot better than I was prepared for it to be, because I wasn't expecting it to be like some cinematic disaster or anything, but like when you think Mario movie, like you just think general like new Super Mario Bros. Plotline. So it was, I like what they did with Peach. I thought Peach had a very well-written character.
Yeah.
I liked all the voice performances. Even like Chris Pratt, you just kind of got used to him, so I didn't mind it. And yeah, I guess before I get too far into like spoilers, and where I know we're gonna cover it in a bit, but I loved the Bowser Peaches song. That one really.
That's funny. Yeah.
That one really got me. That was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ninja is muted, so we'll pass
Hello,
the. Oh,
I'm not muted anymore.
hello.
I was just waiting.
Fair enough. Yeah. Give us your thoughts.
I thought the movie was better than I would have expected it to be. I was kind of going with like the lowest of expectations, just due to the fact that it was being made by Illumination, which you don't have particularly good track record, all things considered.
They don't?
I never considered Illumination to be as bad as a lot of people would make you believe, but I haven't seen like a large majority of their movies. I haven't seen Secret Life of Pets 2 or Sing 2 or whatever. I just see them as like they're an animation studio. They make kids movies.
They are like the most like a milquetoast like animation company. They have like no personality really, at least in my opinion. Just kind of like make movies because money. It is like I don't know. I mean,
I think
we get the point.
My opinion on it is I think the choice makes sense. It's like I think I was like in your same shoes. I was like, I don't want Illumination, but it's like Pixar. I don't really see Nintendo and Disney collaborating. It could happen, I guess. Not anymore.
I think Illumination was a good choice.
I think it's the only choice, because then it's like, what else do you have? Like Sony Pictures, and obviously I don't really see Nintendo and Sony. You could do DreamWorks. That might have been the optimal decision, honestly. But what's like the last good DreamWorks film? I feel like I actually don't know.
I mean, they literally just made Puss in Boots, which was...
Okay, they did make that.
So
yeah.
They just made a good movie. Before that, I don't really know.
But yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What else did you think about the film?
Okay. I mean, obviously, most of my enjoyment was like looking in the background, like, "Ooh, it's that from that," kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like the plot stuff was fine. I guess the only real thing I have to note about the plot is I liked how Peach was written.
Yes.
I thought Peach was written very well, but like aside from that, I don't know. Like every like voice actor did their job pretty much. Like even Chris Pratt was fine. Yeah, no voice was like offensive to my ears here. So I did think the humor in the movie was pretty good, all things considered. There's some pretty good moments. I'm not gonna say anything right now because I don't know. If
Were there any fart jokes in there?
No,
I don't think there was.
not
That was a surprise.
Were you looking out for them?
I was prepared
When's
for
the
there to
fart joke?
be a fart joke. I don't like, go into the theaters anticipating it. But,
Yeah.
I was waiting for him to be like some dumb thing with like Luigi and and all the people are in like the cages or whatever, and then like someone farts and I'm like, oh, what the heck, dude?
I don't think Nintendo would like that humor, although in Smash Brothers Brawl they did have that humor a little bit, so maybe I'm wrong, but yeah. Rudhira, what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I do think that since I'm in Sweden and all, I think we had like vastly different experiences watching the movie. I wasn't gonna watch it at first, but then I watched it with Rasmus SW and Sided Williams from the Sunshine community, and like that was an event. We were probably like the only people who weren't going with kids. We all wore Mario shirts. Nobody like we didn't have any dads dressed up as Mario or anything. And like there were also the only showings of the movie were at like 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. There was nothing like later in the day. It's just like, yeah, it's Friday 6 p.m. or Saturday or whatever, and this is the latest you're gonna get to watch this movie. I'm like, okay, well that's nice. But yeah, like I did like the movie. I wasn't really sure what I was expecting though. Like in my mind, I did think like, oh, there's like, how do they make this work? Yeah, I think it was fun. Would have liked to see, some Super Mario Sunshine references, but
There were none. There were basically none.
I don't think they remember having made that game, or they're like actively trying to suppress it.
You have to remember, there was a sun in the sky at several points in the movie, So there you go. There's your Sunshine reference.
They just like outright did not even reference that game, which I thought was a little bizarre because they referenced like literally everything else.
Yeah, like so many weird like games you've never heard of before got to be in the movie.
Like they referenced like 3D Land at one point, I think.
But yeah, I did really like Jack Black.
He was great, yeah.
Yeah, and I did like Charlie Day a lot. I don't remember what this was, but like whenever I talk to like my friends about the movie later, I wouldn't even call his character Luigi. I would just call him Charlie Day, which like I don't know. He was just so Charlie Day in my mind. Was there anything else I thought? No, I don't know. Good animation.
Animation was really good.
Yeah.
So I'll give my thoughts. I'll try to keep it brief, but I never do. So, so you have two groups. Yeah, you have two groups of critics online, right? And you look at the Metacritic reviews. You have the film critics and the movies in like the 50s, 60s, whatever. Yeah, they're all giving it kind of mediocre reviews. And then you have the fan scores, which are like overwhelmingly positive. And I think there's a world where I genuinely think both are honestly valid in their own ways. Like, but I think for one, they catered more towards fans. I don't think they were catering towards film critics, because if you look at the actual story substance, it's a little low. Like, right? They didn't really answer the whole like where did Peach come from thing. That was one thing I felt. and it's a simple story. It's not like,
Well,
it's not
she
anything
didn't
insane.
know that either, did she?
She didn't know that either, but it was like kind of like brought up, and then it just kind of was not answered again. And to me, that was something I felt like missed the story beats. I also feel like it was very fast paced. Like it was a very fast paced film. That's just fine. But that being said, while I still think that the film critic scores, I think you could justify them. I think from the perspective of a Mario fan and a video game fan, it's a excellent movie. It might be the best video game movie. So that's kind of my opinion, where I'm like, I see both scores as valid in their own ways, because I've studied film. And so I'm like, all right, I get where these, snooty critics are coming from. We're just going to use the word snooty, I'm sorry. Because, they're giving it 50s, and I get it. But it's like, come on, man. The movie's not made for you. It's made for people, for the audience. And I think, on the post-promotion of it, they've been, saying, this film has a 97% audience score, which is the route they should take in terms of marketing it nowadays. Because, if you're a Mario fan, I think it's a great film. I love the voices for the most part. I'm still not big on Chris Pratt. I don't think he did a horrible job or anything. I think he overall did well. I do think you could probably find someone better for the role. The whole Charles thing, I'm not really going to debate anymore. It's a dead horse, and I think Charles Martinet's roles were actually good where they were. I liked Luigi was good, Bowser was good, Peach was good. Peach was a great character. I'm really happy they wrote her as a good character. I was scared they were just gonna she's captured and she's in 2 seconds of the movie or whatever, because that's what the game does, the old games. But I'm glad they actually made her a good character. I thought she was a better character than Mario for a decent chunk of the movie. I'm not even gonna lie. In terms of just
definitely
personality, she felt like more of a main character, honestly, at times. Mario's just sitting in the corner and Peach is beating everyone up. So I'm glad they did that. Toad was good. Comic relief, haha, funny character.
I didn't even think Toad was that funny personally, but
he's an Illumination character. I'll say this about Toad: he's more of an Illumination character here than he is a Mario character.
I honestly did not even remember any lines Toad said except maybe 2. And it was like the straight face meme.
Yeah. Someone brought up a good point on Twitter where it's Mario had to do that whole obstacle course thing in order to come with be on the ride for Princess Peach's journey, and then Toad is just he just shows up and is like, hey guys, I'm gonna protect you, Peach, and she's like, all right, yeah, you can join. It's what?
Well, he can't even jump, so
yeah, I don't know why Toad is just there. I guess I don't really understand his role in the story. I don't think he had any besides just being there, I guess.
Good for morale.
I'm trying to think what else. This is a hot take. All right, we're gonna go into a hot take territory.
Oh.
I think I know what you're gonna say, and I'm prepared to disagree.
You've probably seen me say it in Discord already, but I was not a fan of the Baby Luma character. I like the Galaxy reference. I think Galaxy has place in the film.
What was that about?
I didn't think it was funny.
Existential crisis Luma, that was great. I don't know what you're talking about.
It was funny.
I was honestly surprised I was even in the movie. I'm like, why would Nintendo add this dark and kind of messed up?
It was dark, yeah.
Is that is that a reference to anything in a game, or was it are there any existential crisis Lumas in a game?
I wish.
Not really. They're the most positive Mario NPCs, honestly, for the most part.
Yeah. So where did that come from?
Some
probably just
corporate sickos imagination.
It was probably just humor, to pander to more the adults or whatever.
Yeah, I mean it worked.
But they kind of pushed it. I'll say they pushed it a little far, that scene at the very end of the movie, where it's and now the movie's over. It's all right, you're pushing it a little bit.
I think they overplayed their hand.
Yeah, it showed up 5 times or something. It was a bit excessive.
I think they overplayed the hand of it.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I interrupted you, if anything. But I was just saying, I think they overplayed the hand. It was funny. If they cut it a little bit down, it would have been funnier to me.
Yeah.
I think it felt kind of out of place.
Yeah. I also feel like whoever voiced them kind of didn't sound like a professional voice actor. I think it was a kid, honestly. It just felt like they did. It felt like some kid. It felt like a 6-year-old voiced the character. Which
I feel like that was intentional, though.
It was intentional.
Not having some, the fact that it was supposed to be this baby Luma who was excited to die,
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I don't really think I had that many like major complaints with the film. What do you guys think about the soundtrack? Because some people online have kind of complained about the licensed songs. So I don't know what you guys thought about that.
I thought the licensed songs were fine overall. It was just the one Take on Me that was that was very jarring. I thought the rest of it was fine. Like, you know, it didn't seem like distracting. Like, okay, that logically makes sense to be here, I guess. But like that one just came out of nowhere. Didn't fit thematically or anything. It just kind of ended. It was like, oh, okay, guys. Thank you.
I think the thing with me was that, you know, in a sea of like, you're listening to basically orchestrated Mario songs, and then like you have 80s pop out of nowhere, and it just like each time, even for the good ones, like it was a little jarring at first. It made sense in the context of the movie, but like, you know, it was a little distracting. I didn't, you know, hate it with a passion, but you know, it's like whatever, you know.
Right.
So.
Yeah,
what were your
I
thoughts
don't
on the
think I
soundtrack?
really had any opinion on the soundtrack. It's like, okay, this sounds fine. It's
Right. Yeah, like
nothing really seemed out of place to me, obviously, since I like don't remember anything about it too strongly. But then maybe you could take that as, oh, it didn't make a big impression on me. But
yeah, I really
soundtrack.
liked it. I did like it a lot. Like there were times where I thought the licensed music was a bit much. I guess the Take on Me, like that's been in every, you know, do we need to hear that 100 times? No.
Yes.
Is it a good song? Yes,
it's a great song,
good,
yeah.
but did I need to hear it in like the DK jungle section? No.
I think my favorite part of the movie, honestly, was the Mario Kart section. I don't know if I'm alone in that. I don't know if it's just because I'm in like a Mario Kart mood, because obviously I'm working on that video, and I love Mario Kart. I think that was the best decision, was like incorporate Mario Kart into, because they really didn't have to do that, you know, they didn't do really that many other spin-off references. But Mario Kart, if you think about it, is basically more successful than 3D Mario at this point. I think you can argue that. Like, Mario Kart 8 just sold 50 million units. I should know.
Mm-hmm.
I should know.
I
So-
feel like
50+
Mario
million.
Kart is kind of the Wii Sports of the Mario series. It's like even people's parents have played Mario Kart. Like, Mario Kart is gonna be relatable to people. Like, my mom used to play Mario Kart with me when I was a child, and she's not really a gamer. And it's a very relatable thing. Like, I think putting Mario Kart in a movie that is like, you can say, oh, you have the critics and you have the fans and whatever, but like, I think you're also forgetting that this movie is kind of aimed at like families with children.
Yes.
And I think if you're like a family, you know, you have parents taking their kids to see the movie, I think putting Mario Kart in the movie is a good choice.
Yeah, and to what you just said, my mom actually saw the movie with with me, and she really liked the licensed song. She liked the Mario Kart, so that's absolutely true. And I think the Mario Kart scene was brilliant in my opinion, because they really, I think, struck a good balance between casual, like, they, you know, appealing to casual people there, and fans, because like everyone knew, I think the fan, like everyone was expecting like the blue shell is gonna,
Yeah,
you know,
well,
get them no matter
the
what.
guy had like the blue shell hat.
Yeah. And that was genius. That was genius
Yeah.
in my opinion, to add some like lore to like blue shells. I like that a lot.
They are
I
now
like.
officially called blue shells instead of spiny shells.
Were they ever called Spidey shells?
Yeah, they're
Really?
called spiny shells. I think in every game. Let me check. Let me pull out my Switch here for 8 Deluxe. But I'm pretty sure even 8 Deluxe is called the spiny shell.
Really? I didn't know
It's
that.
just
Everyone just called it a blue
commonly known
shell.
as a blue shell.
Yeah, 'cause
I'd
you got
have
like
to dig out my cartridge for Mario Kart. Never mind.
it'd be like calling like the red shell the homing shell, you know, which technically I guess fits it.
No, they
Like,
call it a red shell in that one, but it's just the blue shell is called the spiny shell for some reason.
mhm.
'Cause it's spiny, duh.
It is spiny. So that was good.
But
I also
I
like.
don't really get why the Kongs were the Mario Kart. Like, why? What is
Yeah.
it about them that made them have all the carts and the, like, do the Kongs just have some? Are they really into cars?
I think it's because they didn't know what else to put there.
I think that's the right answer. You could argue. I was reading someone online arguing like, oh, it's a lore explanation because Mario Kart, if you think about it, has bananas, and it's like. It's kind of a stretch. I get where you're coming from. Someone was like defending it as like a lore thing. I don't think it was a lore
bananas,
thing.
Therefore it is a Donkey Kong.
Super Monkey Balls in the Mario universe? Oh my
Real life also has bananas.
Yeah, I don't know. Besides just they didn't know where else. They didn't know another reason why the Kongs needed to be in the movie. Because what do you guys think about the Donkey Kong like representation? I guess that's a question. It's not like the biggest.
Fun.
I think it was fun.
What was fun? I'm sorry, I'm editing the back.
Donkey Kong section.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
I liked Seth Rogen. I don't know what you guys.
I don't know.
They had DK rap in it, right? I'm trying like
They did,
again,
yes.
Uncredited DK rap, which is
Oh yeah, I saw something about
I
that.
don't know what's up with that. Like they credited it. I saw it in the credits because I saw the post-credit scene. So I was like looking at it. It's like Donkey Kong rap from Donkey Kong 64. It's like what?
Oh my god. Come on, guys.
Because like when I was first when I first got my GameCube, I had like 3 games for it, which was like Mario Kart, Super Mario Sunshine, and Donkey Konga. You know the with the bongos.
Yeah.
I still have them, by the way. Bongos are still safely stored away somewhere. But yeah, like I did always like DK rap on Donkey Konga, and like that was like my first experience with the Kongs, like the Donkey Konga game, and like I haven't played any other Donkey Kong games. I haven't done any of that. I haven't played the old arcade games. So the fact that DK Rap was in the movie felt like this is a good reference for me. I appreciate this reference. I'm sure a lot of other people do, but I'm gonna assume this was put in the movie for me. Where was I going with this? Well, whatever.
We're just talking about the general Donkey Kong section.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought it was good. And also there was an Easter egg with the bongos. I forget where, honestly. I think one of the crowd members, like in the Donkey Kong, someone was like slamming on the bongos and everyone was like popping off. I remember seeing that.
Speaking of which, I was glad to see Diddy Kong, considering he's been exiled from Mario Kart for the past decade.
Yeah, like I don't know what's up with that. So
He's
he
in
better
Mario
be the
Kart
next
tour, and don't you shut
Oh, don't you tell me about the 40
No, come watch it.
Do people play Mario Kart Tour?
I do.
Probably.
It is.
I'm a free to play user. I've yet to spend a single cent on that game, but I do play it.
I will say, if Diddy Kong, this is kind of off topic, but if Diddy Kong is not one of like the characters to return in the Booster Pass, I think the Booster Pass is a scam. Okay, not really, but you know, he's got to be there. He's got to be there.
I mean, we got 5 characters left to go.
Yeah.
I honestly am surprised they put Birdo in before Diddy Kong, but you know.
I know.
I think
What
both should have
about,
been.
Birdo, to be honest.
Honey Queen.
They could do
no.
that.
Oh my God.
No.
Well,
no,
the thing is, if they're saying veterans, they said it. I think they said it was going to be series veterans. The only question is, does that include Mario Kart Tour?
Honey Queen isn't in Tour actually,
This
and
is a
neither
very
is
productive
Wiggler,
Mario
so.
movie discussion about the Mario movie.
I will just
This
say
is more interesting, Ninja. Let us have fun.
I really liked Honey Queen in, I think, Mario Kart 7, because there you could get the like the, I don't remember what it's called, but there's like a pink princess cart that was pink for most characters, but the cart would be like orange if you played as Daisy, light blue if you played as Rosalina, and purple if you played as Honey Queen. And purple is my favorite color, so like I've always just liked Honey Queen because you could have a purple cart if you played as her.
I like when they add characters like that. I found it fun. I liked Wiggler. I played as Wiggler in 7. I'm not even ashamed to admit it. So the question is like the remaining characters are, if we, because I think Nintendo said it was going to be series veterans. So the question is, do they open series veterans up to tour characters, or are we just looking at literally like the mainline games? Because in that case, we don't have that many.
Birdo straight from Tour, so
There better be Rob, otherwise I will actually write.
there's no Robin Tour, so.
Yeah, like
No,
but like
Thor
thinking
is a
about.
disgrace to humanity, said.
So here's my question for you then. Out of all the Mario Kart characters in the mainline games, let's just say Tour is not included. So Birdo was brought over. Diddy Kong has to be a lock-in, and then Rob, Honey Queen, Wiggler, and I guess Funky Kong, right?
Lakitu.
Oh, they have to add
Lakitu's in the
Funky
game.
Kong.
I
Funky
think they
Kong,
will.
his impact it's unmatched.
No.
Yeah.
Like Funky Kong is iconic. They have to realize that.
It is literally like I think like probably the most fan favorite character in the entire series. Like I can't think of another one to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
I
everyone
think
played
that's
as him in
only
Wii.
because he's completely broken in Wii, but that's.
I mean, I liked Funky Kong. I don't care.
Maybe
Like,
that's why the
community.
Kongs ended up being the like this is the lore explanation for why Funky Kong is so good.
That would be the most meta, like, that would be so meta. I hope you're right. I don't think it is. I kind of doubt
I'm
it.
pretty sure that's wrong, but you know.
I like the explanation, though. That'd be, like, such a meta thing to do. That being said, I doubt it, but...
See,
Be
we're
cool.
tying it back to the Mario movie, Ninja.
Me crying.
I mean, these podcasts usually don't have structure. Like, I remember someone commented, like, on the Pokemon video, like, oh yes, the Pokemon video where Jeff and Ninja and Cardno talk about Pikmin 2. We talked about Pikmin 2 for, like, 10 minutes.
It's true.
It's pretty fun. I mean, it's an accurate comment. I'm like, sorry.
We got exposed.
I'm not sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sorry either, actually.
I mean, I like talking about Mario Kart. So,
Yeah, man. That was gonna be
This
last month's.
is fucking Mario Kart. Okay, sorry.
Because that was what we were gonna talk about
Wow.
in March. We were gonna do or in April we were gonna do a Mario Kart video, and then I just ran out of time, so I was working on the Mario.
Where's the game dude rep? Dude, come on. He needs to be a character this game.
I do have a game dude referenced in my next video. I'll say that.
Good, good. I want in
Um,
my next video too.
So with that, I actually, you know what? I'm gonna bring it up now because Ninja wanted to do this. What do you guys think about the potential of another booster pass? I know it's random, but this is what
I'd
we
be
wanted to
up
do
for it.
last month, and we were gonna debate it.
It depends on where and when. Like, if it's like in the next console and they just launch it with another booster pass, I think I'll be mad.
man.
But like, if it's like still on the Switch, I won't really care. I'll be like, yeah, sure. Because I guarantee they're gonna mess up the double dash tracks in this one. I guarantee there's gonna be like 2 double dash tracks and they're gonna be like Mushroom Bridge, and then like I don't know, like Baby Park again or something. They're gonna find a way.
Baby
I
Park.
Baby
mean,
Park.
with me, like it slightly bugs me that we're gonna end up with 96 tracks exactly. Like,
Yeah.
come on, you can round it up a little, guys. So
Yeah,
what
come
you
on.
do is you add a second wave with 3 more cups, round it out to an even 120.
They should make.
Three more
They,
waves.
they should add only 4 tracks and it should be figure 8 circuit.
No.
What else is there? That's like trash.
Donut Plains 1.
Donut Plains 1. Some GBA track, I'm sure, would fit there perfectly. And then, like, I don't know, some more
Does
Wii track.
DS Desert Hills.
Yeah, just like the best tracks.
Yes, Desert Hills.
I kind of almost hope they had figure 8 circuit just for the pure like anger it would give me.
I find it
Think
funny
it'd
at
be
this point.
They
I think I
already
just
gave
laugh.
you Toad Circuit, which was probably the worst one they could have picked.
I don't know what's up with that Wave 1. Like, Wave 1
is
was
actually
just...
unforgivable.
Wasn't that the one where they just like, oh, hey, what do the kids like? Coconut Mall? Yeah, put that in there.
pretty much?
I do
be
not
honest,
like that
I
iteration
always
of
thought
Coconut Mall.
was kind of overrated. Like, I never was like crazy about it.
I don't agree.
I'm more
I
of a
love...
Shroom Ridge connoisseur myself.
I
Or
really
the
like...
Rich Wallet fan. Oh my god.
I really like Coconut Mall, but I don't think it works as well in 8. I really don't. I
Yeah,
don't. I
it
think
really
it's
does
because
not.
it graphically. I think graphically is part of the reason I don't like that because it just looks bad in my opinion. I don't know what it
It looks
is.
like a 3DS port of Coconut Mall. to be
I mean, it
honest.
probably is because it was in 3DS, so it probably got ported
Ah.
from 7 to Tour, and then they probably just ported the Tour version, is my guess, to 8. Like a
Yeah.
Pokemon. It's something like Pokemon would do, honestly. Sorry.
Pokemon copy and paste.
We always got to get our
Somebody,
Pokemon.
But yeah.
We always got to get our Pokemon roasting in for the
Like
episode.
Sky High Sunday when they said it's a new course and it was just
Oh,
baby.
that's the ugliest course I've ever seen.
I
hate
like that
Sky
course.
High Sunday so much.
It literally looks like a Fall Guys level, like a ported.
Come on,
Yeah.
let's all beat down on on
But, like,
Sky Sunday in front of Jeff. For
I like
Yeah.
that stage. I'll defend it.
I think it's Jeff. Didn't you also like Waluigi
Layout wise, it's
Stadium?
fine.
I love Waluigi Stadium looks so good. Like that graphically, they nailed it.
The mud.
I feel like it's just so like maybe it's fine. Like maybe change is okay, but I think it's so different from the Double Dash track.
It is. But I like
it's
that.
way better.
I just wanted to port better Double Dash tracks. I'm so tired of like they choose like the most boring, like generic, like garbage Double Dash tracks. They never port any of the good ones. It's like come on.
Waluigi Stadium was a good choice though.
Wario
I
the
want Dino
Coliseum
Jungle.
is
Like,
a stage that has yet to return.
Literally just port Wario Coliseum, Dino Jungle, Bowser's Castle, and then some other stage I don't care about. Like those are literally all banger stages that will never be ported because they don't care.
I like.
Mushroom
Well,
Bridge.
I have a feeling they recently remade GBA Bowser Castle in Tour, and it's kind of like a Snowland remake, you know, where it's an actual interesting course now. So I think that'll be added next wave.
I personally am okay when 8 does, because if you look at the base 8, the retro tracks in that game, besides like the tracks from 7, they look like completely new courses, like they're reimaginings. And so to me, I kind of like that about Waluigi Stadium. It felt like it was in line with the retro tracks we used to see.
I agree. I just don't like that they ported like one Double Dash track and they're like, here's Waluigi Stadium.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god.
We're 4 waves in and we've gotten literally one
Double
GameCube
Dash
track.
and it's like the most generic Double Dash track I think of all time.
And I guarantee you the only reason they did it was because, it was in 7, so kids are gonna think it's from Wii, or it was in Wii, so kids are gonna be like, Mario Kart Wii, is my guess.
But they keep remaking GBA tracks, so.
Those are good though, that's the difference.
Those are good remakes. The GBA tracks, like, genuinely, they do a really good job on them.
At least they chose Waluigi Stadium and stuff like Luigi Circuit or something.
Oh, they're gonna do that.
Remember when that was in DS or whatever?
Oh,
Oh yeah, Luigi Circuit doesn't need a remake.
It's gonna be Luigi Circuit and then like I don't know, like some ever Double Dash track.
Mario Kart DS chose the worst. I think they chose like literally the worst possible GameCube tracks. Like they chose Baby Park, which they removed like the thing that items can go over the center, so it's just automatically bad.
Isn't it all? Yeah, like nothing matches the chaos of Baby Park in Double Dash with the special items that the different characters.
Yeah,
like the Bowser shell. The DK Banana, the Chain Chomp, and the Bob-ombs, like they are so good for Baby Park and Double Dash, and like nothing really hits the same.
Baby Park in 8 is.
It's kind of bad in 8 in my opinion.
I think it's bad in 8 too. I don't like. There's no point to it if you don't have. It was made for Double Dash.
It was made because Double Dash had insane items, so when you put it to a game that does not have insane items, it's like, oh wow, you ported the worst layout for a track in Minecraft.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's because it's easy to make.
It's easy, I know. It's just an oval. It's just an oval.
I do like they put the little tilt on it for the anti-gravity, but like they could have done better.
They could have. I'm not a fan of it in anything past Double Dash. But like, okay, in DS we have Baby Park, we have Luigi Circuit, we have Mushroom Bridge, and we have Yoshi's Circuit, which I like Yoshi's Circuit, but
Yoshi's Circuit is good. But...
It is, but they chose 4 like daytime grassy tracks basically in Baby Park, 3 and then Baby Park.
That's pretty bad.
It's like, why do you guys even bother?
The worst stages you could ever put from Double Dash. It's never the good ones. It's always
and my
like
guess.
The trash ones.
My guess is because it was just easy to have like those assets, like daytime assets. Nowadays, though, I really don't know why. I don't know if it's just because they don't like Double Dash.
I think Nintendo's on a hate campaign where they're trying to like convince people that the GameCube was a bad console and it's not working at all. It's absolutely not working, but they keep trying.
Yeah, no, GameCube's great. Love GameCube.
I don't like. If we don't get any more Double Dash tracks, I really am just upset because we've got so many Wii tracks.
Tracks and tours, so like that's the weird thing. We get
there's more GBA tracks than there are Double Dash tracks, and that's not okay. That's just not.
We get. Well, okay. To be fair, you could argue that's a good thing because who's going back to play the original GBA tracks?
That's true, but like, I don't know.
Of anything that needs a remake, it's the GBA and SNES tracks, but actually good remakes.
The SNES tracks suck though. We can dump them all into a fire pit. Never see them again.
It's good to remake them because how far like gaming has come since then. Like you can still play Double Dash and be like, oh, this is a fun game that looks nice. But then like with the
Super Circuit.
Like which one is the one with all the colorful cubes around the edges? Like that just looks so flat.
That's
Yeah.
both Super Circuit
It's-
and Super Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
like, they're
agree.
kind of hard to play, like with
Yeah.
these modern eyes we have now.
Like
the
I
learning
don't.
curve.
I like when they do something like in the base game. They remade a Donut Plains track and it looked really good. Like you can't even tell it's a Super Nintendo track or yeah, Super Nintendo track really. Besides like occasionally you'll see some blocks in the distance, but then you get to like Mario Kart Booster Pass, and there was one SNES level that was just like the same yellow putrid like background. It just looks bad in my opinion.
What do
Like
you
it doesn't
mean?
work. It looks like a ROM hack, honestly.
And I bet you it was from well, okay, it wasn't from the tour originally, but like it was, they used it at some point where like they had like the 8-bit sprites for like Mario and Donkey Kong or whatever for like Mario's anniversary, 35th anniversary. They had like SNES Rainbow Road and like Mario Circuit and like a bunch of SNES tracks or whatever that they brought back or whatever. So I bet it was from that. But the thing is, they have, getting back to the point, they have Double Dash tracks. They have Dino Jungle. They have
Daisy's Cruiser.
Yeah, they have Daisy
Oh,
Cruiser.
Daisy's Cruiser is a fun one.
I want that track so badly. That's like that might be my favorite track. I love Daisy's Cruiser. I think it's just
that
so
one could
funny.
translate well to 8.
Yeah, like you
That's
got
the thing. I'm
underwater.
surprised they did Waluigi Stadium because that isn't in tour, and I don't think it would work very well in tour either because like, you know, it's there's so many turns that'd be kind of hard to make in that game. But
yeah.
So I'm sure we'll get in the next wave. We'll get. I wouldn't be surprised if we got Dino Jungle. We'll get Bowser's Castle.
truly hope we get that one.
We'll probably get Los Angeles. We'll probably get
Los Angeles, let's go. Hey, you know what? I don't even have to leave my house anymore. I just turn on Mario Kart. I will be the judge if Los Angeles is a good track or not, because I don't want to be that guy. But
it's okay. It's okay.
I still haven't gotten over the swamps as part of the Berlin Wall. Like the first time I saw that, I was like, okay, well this is absurd.
that was funny. I mean, I don't know. That was just like, okay. I like these tracks because it confirms kind of the existence of historical like events that have canonly happened in the Mario universe. Like there was a Cold War in Mario Kart technically, or yeah, in Mario whatever. Like I don't know, it just opens up this like whole. I'm surprised Game Theory hasn't done videos on it, honestly. Oh, I don't know. I don't watch them anymore.
I really do not like the tour tracks. I will say that. Like, I think they are not fun to play.
Right.
There's like one of them that I've played that I think was decent. I don't remember which one. Oh, I think it's the New York one that I think is fine.
Really, I didn't like the New York one. I think they're very hit or miss. But go on.
Yeah, so there was one cup where they put 2 of them. They had like Singapore and like Bangkok maybe.
Yeah.
But
Singapore's goated.
I just don't think they are good tracks. I don't like either. I think you should have a track that is just you do the same lap 3 times. It's fine what they did in Peach Gardens where they had for the last lap you go the other way. Or you have the tracks that are like divided into 3 segments. I think those are fine too. But I think what they do for me, it's taken me a few times of like just playing through the cups to actually get used to what the tour tracks are, because you're like, okay, now I'm driving here, and then like it looks like I could drive here, but then there's this thing in the air that is just like a holographic arrow pointing me another way, and like
I don't like those.
I still just sometimes drive the wrong way because I'm looking at the track and then I'm like, okay, this I can go here, and then Lakitu's picking me up and I'm like, okay, well I guess I couldn't go there. I don't think they're fun to play because the layout just like whatever they're doing with the design or the layout or whatever, I don't think it really makes sense. I don't think it's intuitive. I don't think it's good for a racing game.
I think it's fun for some. Sorry, I'm interrupting everyone, but
no, you're fine.
But I think it's executed well on some tracks. like Paris. I think Paris did it well. I think Singapore and Sydney, those were good tracks. But when you get to Amsterdam or whatever, where it's just it feels like you're just following the arrows, because you're just racing around like a bunch of tall buildings, or New York kind of had that problem too. A couple other ones did. I just don't think it works that well,
I think the problem as well is it basically renders the minimap useless, honestly, because they don't adjust it really per lap. So it's just, you see just a bunch of lines, and you see people driving in like 10 different directions, and the minimap's useless.
That's it works for New York then.
It works sometimes, but like there's some
to really
layouts
emulate the feeling of New York. I mean.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it would apply to LA as well in some ways, but. I like some of the tour. I mean, I agree with Cardno that they're hit or miss. There's some I really, really like, and then there's some I don't like. And I'll be honest, I don't even remember the names for most of these because they just kind of blend together in my head. I like the stadium one that was recently done, where you're like flying on like a hotel like hot tub.
Yeah,
There's like Goombas.
Singapore.
I like Singapore.
I'm
actually
that up in the Discord server too.
I enjoyed that track. I enjoyed the other one where you're like snaking around like a parking garage in the same wave. I don't remember the names. I apologize. Unprofessional.
I love doing that actually.
That's Bangkok.
I like that. I didn't like the first one in that cup, but then there's just tracks like Tokyo Blur. I'm sorry, but that is like, it is not a good track. I thought Tokyo Blur was like the worst. Like I don't feel like I'm in Tokyo. I feel like I'm on a freeway,
I think that's I hated that cup. It had like the Tokyo Blur, and then it had the what's that track where you like drive through some temple?
Ninja Hideaway.
Yeah, I didn't like that track.
I like that track.
I like that one. There is one turn where I just think it's kind of BS. Like it's just like you drive into a straight wall practically.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that one's kind of overwhelming to play.
I like it, but it's jank. It's not. I don't feel like it's tightly designed.
Yeah.
There's
and those,
way too much stuff happening.
The at the end, the like air jets that boost you up, like they're like, what am I doing here?
I think it's good. I just don't think it's like tight. I don't think it's tightly designed. I think it's too chaotic for its own good.
I think it's good, but it just falls apart completely in 200cc.
You can't even, you can't even do that. I mean, like it's not even playable basically. I'm trying to think what other tour I really liked Merry Mountain. I'll agree with Rudhira. I really liked Merry Mountain. I know it's from tour technically, but I don't know. I liked it. It felt like it would have been in the base game. Like, is it just an oval? Yeah, but like, who cares? You could also say the same about some
really
Mario Kart tracks. It looks beautiful. Like, it was a good time to release it because it was holidays. I enjoyed it. I had fun with that track personally.
Yeah.
I actually sort of like Sky High Sunday. I know that's a hot take. Not a lot of people agree with me. And I didn't even play Tour, so you have to keep that in mind. It's just, I played it, and there's one jump where the camera does not follow you, and I think that kind of hurts the track a little bit. I forget where, it's like near the last fourth of it. Like, some of these tracks are not that well designed, though. Like I'm saying, they're not tightly designed, some of these tracks, and I think that's kind of the biggest detriment to the booster pass as a whole, I'd argue. Like, Coconut Mall, like, another problem I have with it is there's, like, this wall that 90% of people who, like, trick off of just end up hitting the wall. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but I'll have the proof and I'll have the example of it in my video because I talk about it. And
nice.
I don't know. There's just some things in the booster pass that are really, really good, and then it just misses the mark on some other things.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I have to say though, or were you gonna?
No, you're good.
Else?
You're all good.
Yeah. There was a kind of funny experience that I had. So you guys are all U.S. American, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was playing, I think it was Wave 3 or whatever. I was playing a cup. I didn't look too closely at like anything, but I was just like, okay, well, I think it's Rock Cup or something. There was a track called Rock Mountain, and I'm like, it started the track. It's like, okay, this is Rock Mountain. What is this? And I started playing it, and it's like, oh, this really reminds me of a Mario Kart 7 track. And I kept going, and I'm like, Alpine Pass? Because it has a different name in the in like the PAL version, or like this PAL version of the game or something.
Interesting.
It's the same with the Melody Motorway. It's called Music Park in the US version, and I'm like,
I kind of like Melody Motorway better.
I love Melody Motorway. I think Alpine Pass is better than Rock Mountain as well, but yeah, like there are a few tracks that have, like, they had different names on the 7 version for me, because like I'm European, and then it seems like they all have the same name in 8 Deluxe, and that's kind of confusing.
That's kind of stupid of them not to.
About this with someone else we've talked to before, and we were talking about like PAL names for like different games. So like for all like the Mario and Luigi games, you get like Dream Team Bros, and like what was it? It was like Paper Jam Bros or whatnot for all like the Mario and Luigi series. Like, yes, you have to specify that Mario and Luigi are brothers on the game cover. Over in PAL.
There's a good video to be made there. I'm sure people have made YouTube videos on the subject like time and time again, but I think that's a good. Honestly, it might be a good video topic, because there are a lot.
Yoshi's universal gravitation that will never cease to amuse me.
That is the best one. That is the funniest one. I'd like to know the general history of these things. Like, honestly, like I don't know what encourages developers to like change the names drastically. Like one word or two, okay, fine, whatever. And sometimes it could just be like a translation error. Like obviously in Japan, like that doesn't translate perfectly to English all the time. Japanese.
I think there's a difference between like Japanese translated into English versus like, why is there such a big difference between American and British?
Right, like I get Japanese, because Japanese does not translate that well to like American English. But like, you know, if you're using English for, you know, a few different regions, I don't know. I'd love to know. I'd love to like interview some game developers. Not that they would interview me, but I would like to know.
You could.
It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't like offend me or anything. I just want to know. I literally just want to know. That could be a whole podcast.
It's like the infamous Mario Kart 8 mistake.
What is that?
There was like a train. There was a train level in Mario Kart 8, and one of the lines is perfectly fine in U.S. English, but like Kamek says like a slur that's like strictly European. Like it's not a slur in America, but it is in PAL regions, and it somehow fell through, so they had to reissue both the American and European copies to remove it.
Ow.
Oh.
Of which games? I just came in.
Mario Party 8.
Oh, that's very funny.
This
I wonder if I
sort
have
of
a reshoot copy of that.
This sort of thing happened in Pikmin, the Pikmin franchise. The enemy Wollywog is apparently like the second half of that name is apparently like an offensive term in, I think, the UK. I could be wrong. So they were actually just renamed to Wally Hops in future iterations, but only yeah, I agree, but only in, you know, we're only in PAL. Like they still call it Wollywog. I don't completely know. I don't know the exact, you know, meaning of the word, or I don't want to know either. Like I don't, you know.
That basically is Nintendo says screw you. It's like nah.
But, like, making a change because of that makes sense at least, but like Music Park versus Melody Motorway, I don't think Music Park
is offensive to PAL people.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Music is illegal in the UK.
I really don't. Melody Motorway is a better name. I wish I
love
Music
Melody
Park,
Motorway.
but
I think Alpine Pass is better too. Like Rock Mountain, like. Yeah, that's what it's made of. What?
I mean, I guess it's,
you know what?
It's just a Mario convention where they call it like Sweet Canyon and Rock Mountain.
You know what? I'm gonna roast.
That's why.
I'm gonna roast America for a second here. I wonder if it's just because everything needs to be simplified for English. I honestly, it might be. It's someone I know. People like I roasted America very slightly in one of my videos, so slightly, and someone got really mad at me for it. So I'm sorry, but I think it's honestly an explanation that like Americans just need it to be like simple. It could be. It really could be. Honestly, that's the only thing I can genuinely think of. Like I know the Super Famicom.
If they need alliteration or whatever, dry desert just doesn't really seem like hit the same as dry desert.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Has to be dry.
They should have called it detritus desert.
Like, did you know that the Super Famicom's design was shifted to be the way it, like the console is made different from like in a PAL it's like kind of not spherical but like it has a rounded top, and in America it's like a square. The reason that I heard they do this is because they were concerned that Americans were putting soda cans on the consoles, and I swear I've heard this. And then so the reason they changed it because of that, because they didn't want like Americans putting their sodas on top of the like rounded design and then it just falls over.
I think that was a prank.
People also did that with
you heard.
I've heard that for years,
so it's possible.
I've heard it for years. I don't know if it's a prank because I've heard I think James Rolfe even said it in some video. Not that he's like, the all-encompassing source, but it's some validity there, I think. I don't even know how we got to this topic, honestly.
I came back and you were talking about...
I brought up the name differences in the Mario Kart 7 tracks.
Yeah.
Also, to my knowledge, they're the only names that have been different. At least what I've noticed, but I've only really played like Double Dash, 7, and then 8 Deluxe because I did play some Mario Kart DS. Never got into Mario Kart Wii, even though I owned the console, but I think I just didn't like the steering of it. I'm
not a big Mario Kart Wii fan. I don't hate it.
I will say it's very funny how like all these UK slurs get said by accident. It's kind of like if like they released a game and just had like some like offensive slur in like the Japan or
well, that happened kind of with Mario Kart 8 because when they added the Splatoon girl, they I think I was telling you about this, Ninja.
Yeah.
Because I talked about this in the video like very briefly. How the Splatoon girl like puts her, I don't even know what she does necessarily. She puts her like arm on her bicep apparently, and apparently that means in Europe like up yours or something if someone does that to you. So people were like upset about it. So they had to actually release a patch, an entire patch. Like I'm sure they uploaded some other stuff too, but they basically released an update.
Don't you guys do that?
I've never done that.
Oh.
It's actually very funny. There's also the one where like the Smash Bros animation where like Steve holds his steak or whatever, but like the internet turned it into something bad, so they patched it out.
Man, why do you gotta ruin everything?
Yeah, so I mean these things happen. Like the thing with like I'm always paranoid. Like if let's say I make like a typo or something, right? I always like sometimes will look it up. Like, oh, did I like accidentally type a slur? I'm always scared because like you never know because it's like I feel like slurs in these games happen all the time. So I'm always like petrified every time I have some like bizarre spelling or something. I'm always like, okay, well, did I screw up? And then I have to look it up. That's just like a paranoid thing.
Yeah, it is like
being like a developer or whatever. It's like, all right, guys, we need to patch out Steve's finishing animation. Why? What's wrong with it? Well, you see, the internet is a bunch of degenerates, you know?
I never even heard about that, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's a good thing we live in an era of patches because in the old days they would just release a game and that's the game
forever. You put something in the game, it's there.
Yeah, they just cry.
I guess they kind of had, like back in the day, you'd have like games released in Japan like several months before the rest of the world, so like, I guess that's like kind of the case with Sunshine too, like how, version differences. They kind of patched it, but yeah, it doesn't affect the existing JP players, but still.
Like Mama Beach instead of Gelato Beach. What does Mama mean in Italian is my guess. Does it just mean literally like mom? I don't know. I guess these are all not the most important questions. But
These are very important. I don't know what you're talking about.
there's a video you can make out of all this. There really is, and I will not be the person to make it.
Literally, you mentioned anything. Jeff's like, oh, you could make a video out of this.
You could.
I feel like
I'm
it's
always
something. I
thinking
feel
of
like
it.
it's something like a video like John Cartwright would make or something.
Yeah. There's a part where you put too much cheese, Jeff. You could make a video about that.
Could. It wouldn't do well, but you
No,
could.
it is funny too because like there are slurs in like America that don't mean anything in PAL regions too, but
Oh, yeah.
usually I think North American versions get released first, at least traditionally, so it usually probably hasn't been like an issue that comes up because I wouldn't be surprised if Europeans just like, hey, Nintendo of America, can we have your translation please?
Yeah. But with that, I know Ninja has to go at a certain point. So I think we're probably going to wrap up the podcast. We're very off topic anyway, as funny as it is.
We talked about
wait,
Mario
on topic.
Kart. Mario Kart is in the Mario movie.
It is.
This is fucking Mario Kart.
But I'm just trying to make justifications. We're just gonna end anyway, because I did promise Ninja we'd only go 90 minutes today.
I mean,
we're getting there.
I still haven't got a call
Well,
yet, so
Ninja
we're good
hasn't
for
gone
now.
90 minutes.
Yeah, I was probably gone for 90 minutes, honestly.
Either way, I think we'll just call it here. But I had a good time. I don't know. This is a good podcast. I enjoyed it. I appreciate.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate all of you showing up. Thank you, Rudhira, for being a special guest. We'll have you back sometime.
Cool.
Do you guys want to like drop your socials where people can find you if you want? They want to follow you or whatever.
Gonna drop
now?
my social security number. Okay, it's
No, do not do that. On twitch.tv/rudhira. I'm on twitter.com/snoozakupa. Is that the URL? And then if you care about my Sims 2 content, I am on rudhira.tumblr.com. Those are my socials. Have fun.
And
So I'm just youtube.com/Karno or Twitter at KarnoYT. So pretty much everything for me.
Ninja.
you know where I am.
They know where you are. And if you,
They don't
They know
need
where-
an
You are in the
introduction, we
link in
don't
the
need his
description.
socials.
you know where Ninja is, and you know where I am if you're watching.
Yeah,
if
they'll
you're
find
watching
me
this.
if they want.
So,
If they want to find me.
and in fact, I would be impressed if someone watched my second channel, but not my first. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, we will end it now. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you next month. Hopefully, I don't screw up and forget again. Okay, bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.